it appears Foxconn is taking over Taiwan quite literally.
See if this is reminiscent of something that you see in India.
Okay.
Mr. Terry Gou, who is the head of, who heads Foxconn, wanted to run for presidency for a second time in May with his party, Kuomintang, forgive me for getting the, which is the principal KMT, which is the principal opposition party in Taiwan. He was refused candidacy.
Okay.
He left the party in a half, and now he has thrown his own hat in the ring. So he is the third candidate. In the opinion polls, he is trailing.
Okay.
The opposition vote is now going to be split 3 ways. Experts believe that if he was the only candidate, and because of, he has a long experience of dealing with China because of Foxconn, the leading manufacturer, semiconductor
Let's also
manufacturer
quickly
in the world.
tell our viewers, he's one of the founders of Foxconn.
Yes. And Foxconn is the biggest semiconductor manufacturer in the world. So, had he been the only candidate, he probably stood a chance. But now the vote has been split 3 ways. The Kuomintang party, which is the KMT, which is the principal opposition party, has fielded the mayor of Taipei. Their other party has their own candidate, and he's the third candidate.
Okay.
So there is a very slim chance, that he's going to win.
I see no correlation with India whatsoever.
No, he left the party because he wasn't given a ticket. We thought it happens only in India.
I'm sure it happens everywhere for that matter. But I think for me, the story stands out because this is not something we've seen in India. We haven't really, I don't know, I mean, I am trying to jog my memory. We haven't seen a big corporate business leader trying to run for either
We've seen
presidency.
it in the US, Donald Trump.
That is the closest example that we can find as far as global business and administration is concerned, but not in India so far.
So I like the statements Mr. Gou has made when it comes to, if that's how we pronounce his name, that he's.
I think they'll all forgive us for that.
With respect to a hawkish stance against China. The president in making, or the founder of Foxconn has gone on record and has listed out a complete laundry list of clients that Foxconn caters to, which have great interest from the US. I think how we need to look at his running for presidency has to do a little more with geopolitics than politics within Taiwan alone. Who are some of Foxconn's biggest clients? You've got Apple.
The biggest.
You've got Tesla.
Yes.
You've got Amazon. You've got pretty much any blue chip company, and chip being fairly literal in this case, any company, any large technology conglomerate that runs on data and that needs to process data using semiconductors is by default a big client for Foxconn. And Foxconn by default becomes an indispensable member in the overall supply chain of any of these large companies. Now, these large tech companies are American companies. And there is manufacturing capacity that Foxconn has even in China, in addition to what it has in its own country, Taiwan, and what it is trying to set up in India. So, any sort of political pressure that China may want to put on Taiwan, I think the Foxconn founder running as president, or at some point perhaps becoming president, would be a signal to China that, hey, you cannot mess with Foxconn. And you cannot mess with the kind of business that Taiwan does for the US on the back of its semiconductors, and can perhaps rally support from the US to ward off any sort of aggression that China may want to make towards Taiwan. I think that is the geopolitical context and the sort of business context to his running for presidency. I think supersedes any other vote share, vote split, domestic
situation that may be playing out in Taiwan. Absolutely. I think a very curious sort of domestic as well as international situation playing out there. Taiwan, which is known for its semiconductor business, Foxconn, one of the biggest semiconductor players emanating from Taiwan. Its founder, Terry Gou, is running for presidency. He's running as an independent candidate. We don't know whether he's going to win or not, but interesting geopolitical activity there as far as Taiwan is concerned, hoping to protect its own business, its own people, and ward off some pressure from China at this point in time. That's an interesting story we're tracking, but with that, it's the end on this bulletin. Thanks very much for watching.